Okay. Now you know what, guys? This example is really more about math and how math works and what mathematicians do. Okay? So let's look at this top part up here for a moment. It says, some people think that everything there is to know about mathematics has already been discovered. But that is not true. People are still discovering things in mathematics that are new. Okay? Now let's look over here. This is a terrible picture. You can't really see him right here. This guy named Andrew Wiles, I think he was at Princeton. He's a mathematician. Okay? And he solved a problem known as Fermat's last theorem. This French guy named Pierre de Fermat, he worked for the government. But he did math as a hobby. He liked math a lot and kind of played around with puzzles and stuff. And let's just read through this. Andrew Wiles, after more than 360 years, a conjecture made by Pierre de Fermat was finally proven true. Andrew Wiles, a professor at Princeton University, oh, it does say Princeton, there we go, was able to prove that there are no non-zero integers x, y, and z for which x to the n plus y to the n equals z to the n when n is bigger than 2. I know that doesn't make any sense to you right now. But you know what? At the end of this year, this is going to make a lot more sense to you. Because we're going to talk about Pythagorean's theorem. And Pythagoras said for every right triangle, a squared, right, a times itself, plus b squared, b times itself, if I add those two things together, they'll always equal c squared. Okay?
What?
In a right triangle, that's always true. A squared plus b squared equals the longest side, c squared. And what Fermat said was, hey, are there any other numbers where a plus b is equal to c if the exponent is bigger than 2? What if it's 3? Are there any whole numbers where a squared plus b squared, a cubed plus b cubed equals c cubed? That's what this question was. Okay? All right. It took 360 years for Andrew Wiles to solve that. Before he solved it. He got $1 million for it. There was this guy in Europe that had put up money to pay for the solution for that problem. And I'll tell you about Fermat, what he did. He had this little journal where he did all his math. And he wrote down this problem. And he said, I have a great solution for this problem, but I don't have room for it here. And he just wrote down that little note. And then he died before he wrote down the solution. So no one knew what he was thinking about. And it took 360 years before someone figured out his solution. But you know what? It probably wasn't his solution. The proof that this guy used was 137 pages long. And they think that Fermat's proof was a lot shorter. He just said he didn't have enough room right there in the margins to write it. But no one thinks what he was thinking about would have taken 137 pages. So a lot of people are trying to find a simpler proof. But anyway, he proved that this idea was true. Not all questions in math have been proven. Lots of them aren't. That's what mathematicians do. All right, so let's look at this one. Example number 3 says, every even number greater than 2 can be written as the sum of 2 primes. Do you think that this is true? Well, let's see. Can I write 4 as the sum of 2 primes? What could I write? 2 plus 2, right? That's 2, both of those are primes. How about 6? How could I write that? Could I write it? No, I can't use 1. Can I use 2 and 4? No, because 4 is not prime. What about 3 plus 3? Does that work? Okay. What about 8? You got 2 primes for me? What do you think? Bailey? 5 plus 3. Okay. What about 10? What about 10? Rowan? 5 plus 5 or 7 plus 3, right?